Hello, photographers. Welcome to June. We're almost there. Here's our prompts for this week. I hope you have a good time doing it. Hope you had fun last week with those prompts. I can't wait to go do photo review this coming Friday and see what you had for that recreate. That was a really wacky kind of prompt, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you're interpreting it. Before we dive into this, I just wanted to talk about some logistics. All right, so I know a bunch of you have school cameras and you've had them for this time, which is awesome. It's so great. I wish more people could have signed out cameras in retrospect had we known that this was going to be so long. Anyway, for those of you who have been asking, the process for returning cameras won't happen until the end of June or maybe even early July, and it's at the very end. So you can continue to keep those cameras to the end of June, and then it's TBD, but it's when you will pick up your report card and things like that. There will be a chance for you to bring back your school gear at that time. Okay, so I know that Hayden Huskies has been announcing that you can come in and get stuff from your locker. Unfortunately, it's not the time to also return your camera, which is good because you still have some shooting to do anyway. But those are two different sides. So you get it for the until the end of June, early July. The office will let us know when that procedure is going to happen. Okay, let's dive into this week with our photo edition, week 9. All right, so your three prompts for this week are going to be fun ones. They're float, which I love. This is something that we do in class if we were together. Oh, I miss you guys so much. And we're able to do this. Light painting, which we had a bit of a chance to play with, but you're going to try to play with on your own. It's something called juxtaposed. All right, so let's dig through those three prompts. As always, all right, say this every week. With three challenges, you're trying to shoot all three challenges in some regard. Obviously, there's always one that you get into more and you do more than the other one, so they don't have to be equal, but you are going to try to shoot all three prompts, taking lots of photos, putting them into the all shots album, and then selecting your top shots and putting them into a top shots album. Well, that's hard to say. The creative process for the week is kind of the same. On Tuesday, some of the brainstorming that you're going to have to figure out is specifically for light painting. Light painting is a really slow shutter speed, and some of you have phones, and some of you have cameras but no tripods. So if you have a tripod, you're golden. If you have to figure out another way to do it, you definitely need a tripod. So there, put a link in here in terms of how DIY creating your own tripods for light painting. So you got to come up with that, and you want to shoot and shoot and shoot some more, and then come to photo review on Friday. It would be great to see you. All right, so the first one, the float prompt. All right, so this is something kind of like a magical prompt. All right, is to create a moment of floating magic. Okay, so one of the powers of still photography is to freeze time at a particular moment, and either through photographic trickery, and you can do a little photoshopping, or simply high-speed camera action shots. You can capture magical moments of people floating in the air. And this is a shooting challenge we've done in class if you are in grade 12, or we would have done in class if you're in grade 11. So there's some additional resources, the slideshow and the shooting challenge for both jump and for float. We're kind of smooshing them together for this under the hashtag of float. And what you're trying to do is do anything for the shot. Is this going to work? I don't know if you can hear this, but this is so funny. I saw this on TikTok.
One more time. One more.
Tripod.
Just one more. Oh, there's no way that.
Continuous shutter.
I got it.
Yes. All right. So getting those kind of float moments, anything for the shot. And here's some examples here. This one is my former student Kayla in her backyard. And this one involves Photoshop, where you lay out on a stool or what have you, and use Photoshop or something similar app to remove the thing that you're lying on. Here's another one example too, and this one over here in the top corner, I'll move my face out of the way, is high speed action. All right, so using the backlight of the window and creating that thing right there. So kind of using continuous shutter, just like you saw in that TikTok. And then I wanted to give you a spotlight on Philip Houseman, who's a famous photographer. I am in the way of Marilyn Monroe, so I'll move myself again. Here is Philip Houseman. He's a famous photographer, and he is really known for taking these shots that were involved famous people jumping. He did Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, and lots of famous celebrities kind of thing from that era. And he would take like normal photo shoots, and then at the end of it, he would ask them to jump. And he became known as this. And he's got this whole book now with these jumping portraits. So here's Marilyn Monroe jumping in the air with kicking her knees back and things like that. He also did a famous photo shoot with the artist Salvador Dali. This is not Photoshop. This is way before Photoshop. This is everything jumping and timing. So he in the slideshow, you'll notice how they set up this shot. In terms of like someone's holding this chair in the air and Salvador Dali's jumping in the air, and this is hanging from a string, and the cats were thrown all at the same time. It's kind of a wild shoot. So anyway, he is one of the originals for like kind of that airborne photography. Now, light painting. You're going to need that tripod or DIY alternative. You're going to need a slow shutter, so manual control is necessary. So you can try the Lightroom app, and there are other light painting things. If you're going to be using your phone for it, you kind of have to do a little bit of creative tweaking for if you're using your phone for this to find an app that has manual control that you can slow down your shutter speed, even 1 second or 30 seconds. I know that the Lightroom app that we talked about in previous weeks does allow you control of the shutter speed. You don't have a ton of control. You don't have like 30 seconds of shutter speed as far as I know, but that definitely helps. And then juxtaposed is having two images side by side and kind of collaging them together. So you're juxtaposing, so you're putting one image with another image, and the two images side by side kind of create a bit of a story. Those kind of photo collages you see a lot on Visco and whatnot. The precursor is something called half frame photography. So I'll explain that to you. So light painting, there's an intro to this light painting where you can get into some details and some ideas. That's just like an LED light pointer that a student used. And that one outside was an LED on a string, and you can like spin it around and things like that. I've given you a bunch of variety of approaches to light painting that you can dig into to get some ideas. And then juxtaposed, this is a photographer I know, Jackie. She does these half frame, and this is film photography, and this is what we're taking inspiration from. So it's like one image and then another image that have a bit of a relationship, that tell a story together or have like visual similarities to it, that both are kind of like either frames of a comic book, or there's visual connection between them that you're juxtaposing side by side. And this came from these Olympus Pen and others did release these cameras that would back in the film days would use half of a frame of film to take a photograph, and then use the other half. So essentially double the number of photos that you could take. But very quickly, photographers started to use that for their artistic advantage to create those interesting juxtapositions between the images placed side by side. So here's some examples that she has taken the connection between the modern stairwell and the old fire escape, when those kind of diagonal lines, or in this park here, two shots of the park that kind of like show, give a better feel for that space and things like that. So that's what the juxtapose is: two images placed side by side. And there's tons of apps and links that you can use for that in order to get that done. So as always, you're going to share your work in the Google Photos album. That's our hub, that's our community. So share and check back on it and comment and like on each other's photos, so you don't feel like you're making photographs into a void, that more than just your teacher is seeing it, and whatnot. And your challenge for this week is try to plan ahead to come to photo review Google Meet on Friday afternoon. We usually do it at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon. So if you're able to make it, that would be amazing. Okay, so that's all for this week. Good luck with your challenges. Can't wait to see what you come up with. Take care, Artis. Bye.